All right, a little bike check for the masses. This is my first love, a Kona Honzo, just the base, not a DL or the ESD. I like to try that one day. This one's not bad, served me well. It's got a Shimano Dior. Everything's in stock except for the fork. I swapped out the 120 RockShox Recon Silver some shit with Marzocchi Bomber 140mm fork. I got mixed feelings. I think it rides fine. Like it handles everything I've thrown at it so far. But I think it does have that bushing issue where it shakes or it moves a little bit. Like when you hold your front brake and you like shake it back and forth, there's some play in the fork, and it's not the headset, because I've checked it and I've had bike shops looked at it. What I've read online, a lot of people have that problem. So I think you can send it in to get it fixed. But I've had it for over a year, so I'm just gonna keep riding. It doesn't really affect anything as far as I know. So yeah, in that aspect the fork works, but it's got some issue. Also, I think it throws off the geometry. On a steep climb, it wants to lift up. I would have to overcompensate by shifting my whole body forward. And also I think the geometry is kind of dated versus the the more modern bikes where the seat tube is super steep. Now that I have the full sus, I might put the 120 fork back on and use this as just like a mellow trail bike day. Oh, the pedals are Goldix or Shrudex. It's some AliExpress brand, and I think it's a copycat. And I like them a lot. They're cheap. I do feel a little bad that they're copycats. The wheels are also AliExpress. I think it's a brand called ZTTO, because I've broken the stock WTB wheel that came with it, and then I replaced it with a 9er wheel, which also broke. Yeah, I just pulled the spokes through the rim. Second set, I like snapped some more spokes and bent the wheel hardcore to a point where I couldn't pedal it because it was rubbing against the chainstay. So since getting the ZTTO, I feel like it is more durable, so I think I do recommend it. This is my motor. Whenever I ride with people with e-bikes, I ask for a tow. It works great and it's cheap. No need to buy a whole electric bike, but you do need friends with a lot of money though. That part might be hard to come by. Brake rotors, I think they were originally 180, 160. I upgraded that back one to 180 as well. They work well, like no issues so far. I can still lock up the wheels if I wanted to. I feel like this bike has less traction than the full sus, probably just because of the suspension. And the tires, I just run whatever tires on sale. So like right now this is DHR. Oh, High Roller 2. I remember now. Okay, I bought this off of another guy to use as the front, but it wasn't that great, so I moved it to the back. And then the front is a Cryptodo with trail crate casing, which is slightly not as soft as the downhill or the enduro. Works okay. I really can't tell. Another money saving tip is when the rear gets worn down, I move the front back and buy a new tire for the front. That way the front is always fresh, and the back, you don't really need that much grip. Yeah, overall it's a great bike. I think it's a good starter bike for beginners, and clearly like it can handle all the shits around here. It's just the rider that needs to get better. Moving on to my new mistress. This is a Transition Sentinel V3 alloy. The hardtail is also an alloy. This one's heavy as shit though. I think it weighs like 37.5 pounds without the water bottle. So that might be another half a pound right there, so 38 total. But it rides like a dream so far. It's got this new RockShox Silo 150 travel. No, 150 shock. Super deluxe some shit. I don't really know. It's a long name. 160 up here. I run it at 30% sag like they recommended. The tires are stock DHR2 and Assegai, and the Assegai, I feel like it has grip, but it is so high rolling resistance, I think, compared to my other tires. So climbing with this bike kind of sucks compared to the hardtail. The climbing position is better, but I gotta put in so much more effort, and I think it's because of the tire. The shocks on the downhill though is great, no complaint so far. It saved my ass, and it kind of gives me a lot of confidence to like go faster and try out new things, and it's a lot of fun to ride in general. Like right now I feel bad because I haven't ridden the hardtail in a long time. I should go back to it though. I should switch back and forth, but right now I'm still in my honeymoon period with this bike. The drivetrain is Shimano Leora as well. This one's the 12 speed, the other one's 11 speed. I got 4 piston brake this time, the other one has 2. So the braking on this bike definitely feels better. Like I get more grip braking, but it could be down to the tire and the suspension as well. Crank arm is 165, the other bike is 170 or 175. It does feel shorter. I don't know how it affects me. Jury's still out on that. The pedals are great. I love these anvils. The Transition's own brand, and they hooked me up with this stem here. It's also a Transition brand, so they hooked me up with the stem and the pedals with the matching color, so the bike looks sick. It's the sickest looking bike. I can't stop staring at it. This main pivot right here in the V2 is kind of like a mud trap according to some people. So in the V3, in the carbon version, they sell this little cover for this area. The alloy didn't come with it, so I just cut like a piece of plastic and I taped it on. Hopefully it'll help in the long term, but I honestly don't know. It's just me being paranoid, I think. I love everything about it except its weight. The carbon is like another extra $1,500, I think. I'm gonna be banging this bike on the rock so much. I think alloy is like more durable and is a good base for me to build off of. I don't plan to upgrade anything, but I do plan to keep for a long time, and so I'll be upgrading it incrementally when something breaks. I kind of want to add that the seat post is a 200 mil travel, and it's great. My hardtail is a 170, and sometimes I feel like it's up in my ass a little bit. If I could upgrade it, I'm gonna get a 240 even. I think this seat tube has enough room for a 240, so maybe when this breaks I'll get it, but right now 200 is like so much better than 170. I highly recommend a longer seat post. Yeah, if you got any questions, let me know. I'm in somebody's backyard right now, so I'm gonna wrap it up before they call the cops.